Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. I don't know if you, yeah, I see me moving around now. Good afternoon. Uh, as we know, today is the last day of Mental Health Month, and I really didn't touch on this topic too much, but today I'm just going to speak about mental health for the men. Everybody's gravitate, everybody's welcome, but we know that mental health is a serious thing, and a lot of men carry a lot of weight, but the weight of the mind is more severe than anything else, right? Because if you look at what at the term mental, right, the first three letters is men, and it's an archaic meaning. It's not really used anymore, but men is for the mind. So So when I think about mental, I think about us being logical. I think about us being creative, solution seekers. I consider that all part of the character that we have been given or we are supposed to grow into as men, right? We taught about responsibilities at a young age. Most of us, we've been taught how to, take care of ourselves. We've been groomed to be able to prepare ourselves for family for the most of us, right? I can say that. But a lot of us, growing up without that that masculine mental stability in our lives, we had to seek it from somewhere else. A lot of us turned to the block. A lot of us turned to grandparents. But the fact of the matter is, we have all turned to a man to seek the mental capabilities of what we need to do. And for the most part, we've been taught, not to talk, not to allow ourselves to express our feelings and so on and so forth. But when you really gravitate to how important your mental situation is, you understand that we've been taught wrong, right? We've been taught wrong because we have to find ways to get rid of our mental stagnation, right? We've been told, we got to go out there and figure it out most times, right? We got to go on out there and swallow our pride, go work at McDonald's if we ain't got a job. If we're not an entrepreneur, we got to get in where we fit in, so on and so forth. And for the most part, we have done that. But the responsibilities come in so many different forms and matter when it comes to your mind, right? Because some of us have minds of children still. Even though we are physically grown, we have also shut down the capacity of growing our minds. Um, a lot of the time, we just feel that if 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 we do if we do bare minimum, we think we're doing something and we're not. Because the process is we have to elevate ourselves. We have to prepare ourselves for the next stature. And some of us don't even have the mental capacity to understand that we are supposed to be leaders of families as we come down the line. Some of us are just, we don't even have the discipline to just allow ourselves to worry about the responsibilities we have with everything we got. Some of us just have sex and then we produce a child and then we say we don't want the child or we don't know what to do. Why? Because we don't have the mental capacity to understand what the results can be if we're just out there flinging that thing all over the place, right? We want to blame the women; they should have got rid of it. No, it's about us. We are responsible for a lot of things in the world, right? We are responsible for whom we give it to. We are responsible for whom we give relationships to. We are responsible for all of those things, and yet in all, we find a way to hold all of the shame within ourselves, right? Instead of saying, you know what, we need to figure out what's wrong with us. We need to figure out how we can improve ourselves, how we can better the situations that we have already created, right? But being a man is that we have to be solution seekers. We have to resolve the problems that's in front of us. even if we called it, for the most part, we have to understand that we can fix whatever it is because we have the logic. That's the God-given gift that was given to you. If you don't know how to use it, we need to figure out how to use the mind. That's why we are men, because our mind is supposed to be able to fix whatever problem that we have put into our path, even if it's not it wasn't our own doing. But most of it is our own doing because we have poor choice. We have not been. Riaz, what's going on with you? We have not, taken the time to really observe the situation. We just plop in and go in and do whatever it is that that the situation has for us. We don't have no mind frame of how we're going to fix it, how we're going to improve it. We just end up in those situations, and then when we don't have the right solutions, we have pride and ego instead of the logic of saying, "Yo, fellas, I need help. Let's try to figure this out." I'm glad you're doing all right, Riyadh. Uh, is I just think that it's time for us to be able to have those conversations with ourselves as brothers, sisters too. They can have that conversation, but I'm just speaking from the men's side of it, right? Shout out to Ryder. She just did a live. She was conversating about how the woman can do, or what do they need to do, and she spoke her words from a female perspective. I'm speaking from a male perspective. We have to stop being afraid of having conversations with one another to build ourselves to become better versions of ourselves, right? Right? If we understand that it takes a village, it takes a man to begin the village in the first place. How do we do that? We do that by coming together. If we're going to build a community is when people with like-minded people congregate or come together in order for their living situations, their living area to become a better place for everyone involved in said community. But it's up to the men to set the table, right? We must set the foundations first. We don't have to bring a table. I'm saying right now, the table don't belong here. Why doesn't the table don't belong here? Because there's nothing sturdy that the table could sit on. We must build a foundation, fellas, together. We must remove the ego and say, you know what? We have to come together and say, yo, how can we make this a better place for our children, our wives, our baby moms, the ones that's going to be responsible for our children, so on and so forth. We got to come together and do that. It's okay if we don't have all the answers, but it's time to have a foundation to where the answers could be right in front of us and we all could use it. If it works for us, it works for us. If it don't, then it don't. But the fact is, we have to come together to at least make the attempt. We have to be logical enough to make the investment of making our lives better for each and every one of us. Because whether we understand it or not, once you have a child, you are a role model. You are a leader, right? One anybody, women too, but mostly men. When we plant that seed, we become leaders. If that woman keeps that child, you are now responsible for a life that's in front of you. And if you love yourself as you claim you do, you would not want your kid to be nothing other than a logical man. Why? Because that's a representation of you, right? Even if it's a young lady, you want that young lady to see you as an example of what she should be looking for going forward in a man, because you have to be the example. You are the role model. You are the key to whatever your child is going to do or look for in their life. If it's a man, if it's a son, you're going, but daddy was a hard worker. Daddy went out there and cut the grass when he didn't feel like it. Or daddy went out there and worked even if he had a bad back or things like that. The daughter gonna say, daddy took the time even with his ailing self to sit there and talk to me about what to do as far as, you know, how to look for what should I expect from a guy and so on and so forth, so I don't get harmed as I grow up in my teens and early 20s, and be that example for what I should be looking for going forward. But it's up to us, fellas. We got to sit there and have a conversation. What is it that we really want? What is it that we really desire in order to have these conversations? We are trendsetters. We are way makers. We can actually be mind regulators because the men have should have the mindset and the mind state to be able to do all of these things. But if we don't, we have to figure out a way to utilize what God has given us already. We can use it, but it's better to utilize the mind for other aspects and things going forward in life. We have to become better. We are the examples, right? If you got a junior, what is the point of having a junior when you're not the example of a senior? You're not setting the trend for your son. And if you got kids that's multiple your name and they following you, or do you understand that that's a bad example that you have set? We have to understand that in this day and age, we should not be afraid to ask for help. Yo, I'm not doing right. I'm not doing too well. We don't have to turn to substances. We can turn to a brother. We can turn to a cousin, an uncle, a friend, which we would consider a brother because some friends are better brothers than the brothers that we are born into. But it's all up to us. How do we establish that? How do we make this possible? How do we say, you know what? Let's make this a better situation than we have as as we was growing up, right? Most parents say we want to be better than what we had before us. So now it's time to set that in play. We have to set that out. We have to be the example. We may not have had the dad that came to the baseball games. We may not have had the dad that sat there and helped us fix a bicycle. We may not have had the dad to say, you know what, everything's gonna be all right. Just do your homework and we'll figure the rest of this out going down the line. We understand that. We know that a lot of dads may not have been in the picture, but now we are grown. Now we are adults. Now some of us have have children that we can be the examples for. We may not have had the example. So let's find the examples together. Hey, you had a dad. I see how you raise your kid. How you think? What do you think if my kid does A, B, and C? All right, well let's have a conversation. We got to stop taking that. We got to stop thinking that criticism is just that criticism instead of correction. But us being men, we don't have to hide behind our shells. We should be able to have these conversations like, yo, bro, let's go talk about this, that, and the third. We should have safe places. You know what I mean? The barbershop used to be the safe place to have those type of conversations. My son does this, and this, right? But now we got bigger things. We got bigger places to go. We got apps, right? We got this app right here to have these type of conversations. We have channels for people like that to have conversations. We should not be afraid to ask for help. We should not be afraid to say, "Yo, I need some advice. What about this, and this?" But growing up, we probably was taught, "Listen, you don't go to another man for advice because that shows you are weak." But the Bible says, when you are weak, then you are strong because you are able to adjust to the fact that I am at my weakest point, so I need to gain strength from somewhere because I don't have it. And when you don't have it, you should have good people around you, good brothers around you to sit there and say, "Yo, listen, man, I don't, I need a job. I need a job. You think? What do you think I need to do with my resume? This, that, and third." But we so busy turning into to a lot of the women in our life that we forget that a woman is not actually able to tell you how to be a man, but a man can tell you that better than a woman, I would hope. But because of our pride and our ego, which is a part of the mind, we have allowed that to be the forefront of a situation instead of removing that and becoming solution seekers to become better people of ourselves. We keep getting stuck in a rut. We keep choosing the wrong woman because we not looking for the one that's going to keep us stable. But we ain't going to tell our fellas that a lot of us is lusting because she looks good or whatever the case may be. We're choosing wrong. We've been choosing wrong. We've been choosing women wrong. We've been choosing the right person to have this man conversation with, and then we have been weaponized against that because of all of our choices. We ain't picked right, so now we are being attacked because of it. It's time for us to say, you know what, I've been wrong. I can go ahead and reach out and call somebody. I could call, I should be able to call somebody like an uncle, like a friend, or even somebody, some of the men I met here. You know, sometimes realist gives he gives you some sound advice. Sometimes word gives you sound advice. Sometimes atmosphere, give you sound advice. Right? It doesn't matter if they're giving you the advice. It's about if it's right and you apply it, you become a better version of yourself. You don't have to hide in the shadows and shame because you don't have the answer. Another brother is willing to give you the answer and not weaponize it against you, go ahead and use it. I get it. That may be few and in between, but you got to take those chances. You got to take them chances because you are an example. You are a leader of a family. You are a leader of a child. Some of us are trying to be leaders of men, but don't want counsel. How does that work? Right? All because we are worried about what's going on in the mind, and we sitting there, we putting all this pressure on us to become, not to look bad and shameful. Do we understand that pressure bust pipes? The mind it has pressure on it, right? Because you got so many things going on. It's a reason why, most of us have aneurysm, but like not most of us, that people have aneurysm because they're not taking care of their mind. And then when you're not taking care of your mind, you're so worried about it that something just the blood rushes and busts a vein, and then you sitting there going through a situation. Now you gotta hope that you get through that situation. Even if you get through that situation, you don't know the damage that it caused you. But in order for us to stay away from situations like that, we need help. We should not be ashamed to ask our brothers for help. That's what we're here for. Just because you're born alone and you die alone doesn't mean you have to live life alone. I hate when people say I can do this by myself. You can, but you're not made to do anything by yourself. That's why you're supposed to have a helpmate. And that's for the female perspective. A man can help you too. Not to say that's the relationship status, but we are here to help one another. We are here to improve one another. But we should not be prideful enough to say, nah, I don't need your help. We all need assistance in one way, shape, form, or manner. Right? We need that. Just because you may not be speaking the language that I speak, you may help somebody else. So that's why I share a lot of people. I share realists. I'll share word. I'll share a whole bunch of men that I'm subscribed to. Why? Because they are able. They may be able to articulate something better than I can. They may be able to reach a person that I am not able to reach. Right? But it's the fact that I still care about the brothers. I don't have no shame in saying that I love my brothers. And love, what I mean by love is the actual word that you genuinely have a connection to somebody to where you want a well-being for that individual. In this case, my brother, not biologically, but in life. I always want the best for the fellas that I associate with. I want the best for everybody, but I'm gonna be a realist and understand that everybody don't want the best for themselves. So I can't waste my time and energy on those that don't want the best for themselves or that they like chaos instead of peace. I can't worry about them. I'm worried about the ones that want the peace and are afraid to have the conversation because they are so worried that it's going to be weaponized against them. Those are the ones that I'm talking to. And as I always tell them, if you need to have a conversation, I will be here for you. Even if I'm the last person on the planet, I will be here for them. And it's not, you know what I mean? We need those type of conversations, right? We losing friends that are guys left and right. Damn, my homie just passed away. Look at that. My homie I grew up with 25 years. We ain't even 45 yet. He gone. I don't know how to feel about that. No, that's what we here for. Even if you go to like Mr. 33, Sports Chat with Mr. 33, we talk about sports. It's a safe place for the average Joe to have sports conversation, but we talk about life over there as well. Why? Because it's a safe place. I want people to understand that there are safe places to have these conversations and not worry about, well, you're gonna use that against me, or even if we don't agree with the situation, If you listen to the advice to understand that, hey, if you apply it, it works. That's for you. A better you is a better us. That's what that's there for. We don't have to go through debate to show which man is macho and nah. The the most macho man is the one that understands that he's gonna need help. No man is an island. I understand that part, and I'm not talking about in a relationship aspect. I'm talking about as far as brotherhood, as far as unifying the bro code or whatever the hell y'all want to call it. It is available for you. It's up to you to want to seek it. If you seek it, you will find it. And when you find it, you have to make sure that it is available for you and to you. Once it's there for you, and once you are able to use it, then the sky's the limit. You can do whatever it is that you want to do. You can speak about whatever it is you want to talk about. It's not our job to divulge your information. It's not our job to divulge what you telling us. Our job is for you to allow yourself to vent, to get it off your mind, so you can find a solution to get that problem resolved. That's what we're here for. Now most people gonna say women are great listeners. I can understand that. I could I could kind of agree with that for the most part. But sometimes a man needs to hear something from another man, because that man is thinking that that other man knows what I'm going through, so he's gonna understand when I'm telling him that this and this is not working, right? For like the fellas, a lot of fellas may be coming home from the joint, and I I don't know how to adjust. You know what I mean? I need to keep my manhood where it's at, because I'm a dude. I can't just lay up with the female and let her take care of me, or I can't just depend on this female. I need to figure a way out to do this myself. All right, bro. Let me talk. Let me link you up with somebody that went through that same situation as you, and let them talk to you how they overcame that situation. We have to do that for ourselves. We can't just keep depending on the ladies. That's fine because they're nurturing our ego, but now it's time for you to nurture your mind. And a man can do that better than a woman, and for the most part, because a man's gonna understand, like, yo, do I make this adjustment to work at McDonald's, or do I say, screw it, let me go back to what I used to do? Nah, but if you got a kid though, dog, how you want to do this? Do you want your kid to come see you behind the plexiglass, or do you rather your kid see you struggling but see you every night coming home, or calling them and say, yo, I was thinking about you, son, have a good night? Those are the things that we need to have that conversation for. Those are the things that we are needing each other for. A woman's not going to understand what the ways of a man think. So as a man thinketh, so is he. It don't say so as a woman thinketh, because a woman has a feminine mind state. That's why she's a woe man. Woe is woman, men is mind. Women mind. Mind is men, masculine. A masculine man is going to try his best to figure it out. But if he can't figure it out himself, he's going to need the advice of somebody that can figure it out with him. Maybe somebody that went through the situation like they did, or have an understanding of the mindset of what a man feel like he got to do. But it's up to you to decide if that's what you are seeking. Seek it and you shall find it. You have to be ready to knock on the door, because your brother may be willing to answer the door for you. And you had that conversation. Take your shoes off. Let's have the conversation. Hey, you want to talk about it over a beer? Let's talk about it. That's what we bring. That's what we bring to the foundation. Fuck the table. Let's bring that to the foundation. Yo, we could put a whole pot in the foundation to stew up what we need. Once that thing is ready to be used, or ready to be validated. What up, nine? Once you were able to do that, then you can set the table. Stop putting the table before the foundation. That's like you building a house on the beach. There's no foundation. It's going the wave is going to take it out. But us as men, we got to understand we need the foundation first. We got to make the cement. We got to stir the granite together. We got to do this. As much as we believe that women are great, we understand how much we need them. They're great lovers and nurturers and so on and so forth. But you need that brother to say, you know what? Let's come together and make this happen. Right? Let me talk to you before I bust a blood vessel in my head because A, B, and C ain't working right. Right? We don't even talk, we don't even like talking if we having women problem because you think somebody's gonna rib you. Commander, what up, nine? You gotta understand what's best for you is to have somebody of equal yoke, even if it's a brother. Equally yoked as a brother. You don't have to be equally yoked in a relationship like that. If you want to have a relationship with a brother. Have a relationship with, you know what I mean? You want to call him a brother. Call him, I don't care what you call him, but call him so he can help you get through it. We may not, you know what I mean? We know what it's like to struggle because most men struggle. We ain't all rich. Most of us is working 9 to 5. Most of us is busting our ass to make sure that our kids got roofs over their head. They got the right clothes to wear, right? It may not be Jordans, but they got something on their feet. But now you feel ridiculed because they ain't Jordans. What's more important that your kid got something on his feet or the name brand? We fight stupid shit like that. We need to stop fighting things like that. We just need to have a conversation like, yo, as long as your kid got what he needs, that's what's up. How about you? We are men, but we are men by nature. So we always worry about the others. We always gonna worry about the kids. If you got a wife, you're gonna worry about the wife. You're gonna worry about you got to worry about, you know what I mean, that, you know, what's going on with the kids. The last thing we worry about is ourselves. But that's why I tell people all the time, you got to check on the strongest ones. That's why I check on the fellas. No, that doesn't make me weird. If you think I'm weird, that's a you problem. Because I'm not weird. I know that a man needs to get something off his chest. He don't want to complain to his woman all the time because that may make him look weak. Yo, bro, I'm here for you. Tell me what's going on. You understand what I'm saying? Um, that's just the way that it goes. We need each other, right? Like I said, my 33 brother, he says it all the time: a better you is a better us. So that way, if we could come to a common goal together, we can build ourselves together. We can show that men can work together. Like we rib each other all the time, whether it's online, offline. We joke all day. Like, yo, Gary, I ain't fuck with you. Yo, I ain't fuck with you right now, but I bet you if he going through something, he call me, yo, what up though? If I see him want to have a conversation online, I'll give y'all a perfect example. I told him I'm not even coming up on the panel no more because we was ribbing around. Excuse me. But when I see that he needed something, I made myself vulnerable for him to say, you know what? No matter what, if he's around, he's gonna come through. That's the type of dude that I want. I want to be shown as, and it ain't an act. Because if you ask anybody outside of this thing, that's who the fuck I am. I have no shame of doing that, right? You could call it what you want to call it. You could call it soft. You can call it whatever. But what you can call me is I'll be available if I rock with you like that. There's no shame in that for me. You understand what I'm saying? Well, damn, man, you got time for that dude like that? Yep. Why? Because you don't know how much you could be increasing strength in that man. That man could be at his weakest, but him getting it off his chest, now he could gain the strength that he need to go ahead and go forward with life. That's what it means when you are weak, then you are strong. You are able to get rid of that weakness to gain the strength that you need to go forward in life. I know it's a Bible scripture, a Bible saying, a religious thing, but it touches the spirit because it's an experience that I can relate to. When I'm at my weakest, somebody pours into me, I'm good now. I needed that, right? We just I'm straight, and you still weak as hell. You trying to lift all them giant mountains on in your life, but you can't lift it up because you weak as hell with these fucking problems that you got. Wake the fuck up, everybody. Fellas, wake up. Stop feeling like you weak because you don't have the answer. You could be strong by gaining the answer. You don't have it, find somewhere to get it from. Oh, yo, baby, let me holler at you real quick. She can't tell you what to do to lift that. She ain't gonna tell you how to crank that car up to change the flat. She don't know. You got to find out what your strengths and what your weaknesses is. Excuse me. And when you find that out, you gotta align yourself with somebody that's you kind of strong in the aspect of talking to other people. How do I talk to this? How do I talk to this young man? You got to find that person. It's not hard because if you seek it, you will find it. And it don't have to be, and it don't have to be in a ridiculing situation. Meaning you ain't people ain't got to talk about you because you asking for help. And if they are, fuck them. Because at the end of the day, you're trying to better yourself. And there's nothing wrong with trying to better yourself if you don't have the answers. There's nothing wrong if you are asking for help from another dude. We need to break that mantra. We need to break that habit because the habit we should be looking for is the habit to find peace, the habit to bring peace to our families, to our friends, to our loved ones. We need to do that as a man. Damn, son, I ain't got like son, I ain't got it right now. Give me a couple weeks. All right, well, how I'm gonna get this? I'm gonna get this couple dollars for my son to make sure he got shoes to go to a prom or go to a suit, get a suit to go to a prom. Or how if he's starting to, he's being a teenager, how can I make him responsible to how to make sure he know how to deal with a young lady? We have to be the examples. We are the examples. But it's up to other men to become men and say, you know what, this is how I taught my son. You know what I mean? Because I didn't have a father figure to look at to do that. But this is I learned from my uncle, my grandfather, whoever, and this is how I became married and did whatever, or this is how I gained the relationship that I gained with whomever. However it goes. Stop looking at your Nate. What's going on? Stop looking at yourself and frowning because you got pride and you don't want another dude to know what you're going through. And fuck that. If it works for you, if they have the advice for you and it works for you, use it. If they don't, and if it didn't work, then y'all tried. It don't mean that he gave his way ain't the best way. But the worst way is you trying to go through the situation by yourself and not having a clue how to fix the shit. Reach out to your brothers. Reach out to them so that way you have an understanding to where, all right, well, I don't have to worry about this by myself. Damn, I need a couple of dollars to make sure that this thing is paid. All right, yo, fellas, I can't hang out with y'all. Oh no, nah, man, go get your bread. Most of us is gonna say that. Get your bread. Get your bread. We holler at you next time. We can see you next week. We know you got a day off coming. Matter of fact, we're gonna come to you because you busting your ass. That's what most men would do. And the man that's going through like, yo, I appreciate that. I appreciate that because yo, I definitely need somebody to talk to. Y'all might sit there and watch a game or whatever the case may be. That's the brotherhood that we should be building. Instead of worrying about, well, because he's like this. I don't fuck with him because his message is good, but I don't like him because he dark skinned or whatever the fuck the reason is. We supposed to be building each other up. We are a representation of what we should be going to look for the women that we need in our lives. But if we ain't shit, we gonna get ain't shit people. That's just the truth of the matter. And if we keep burying these problems in our mind, like I said, that shit is going to lead to a depression, an anxiety that most of us know good and damn well we can't handle. We ain't built for that shit. Seek the help. You can find it. It's out there for you. Put your pride aside and invest in yourself to where, yo, I just need somebody to have this conversation with. If you do that, you will get the answers that you need to become the better man that you need to be. And when you become that better man, everything's gonna flow to you. The right woman's gonna come to you. The right job is gonna come to you. The right energy is gonna come to you. It may take time, but guess what happens when you're doing the right thing? Patience is added to you. Miss T, what's going on? You got to understand that when you are building yourself, you need builders. You need somebody. You need a foreman. You need a foreman. That's why they are foremen because they are there to help you solidify what you need to become a better version of yourself. No disrespect to the women. It's not like it's not for y'all right now. It's for the man to understand that we should be able to have these conversations with one another because our mind, our logic is supposed to be able to withstand whatever type of constructive criticism or correction that is being given to us by said man. We don't you wanted a soft, tender answer, so you go to the woman. Nah, you need that tough love. Go see that man. Say, yo, nigga, you fucking up. Excuse my language. You ain't doing what the fuck you supposed to do. Man up. It sounds crazy when a woman says it, but it's more constructive when a man says it. You understand what I'm saying? Like if you like, just like when a woman says, you know what, you need to be a better mother. A mother should be able to tell another mother that because they going through the experience. So too it is with us. Man up. You understand what I'm saying? Listen, I know you don't want to go ahead and take that McDonald's job, but right now that's what you need to have some money in your pocket. What's your alternative? Going into the streets, going to rob somebody. Now you're doing a 2 to 4 or a 3 to 9 or whatever the hell the sentence is. Why? Because you wanted the fast money. You didn't want to take your time and build yourself up to get that McDonald's job and then become the manager and then go ahead and who knows, you may be able to learn something from McDonald's and start your own franchise. You don't know what you have until another person is able to give it to you. It sounds nice when a woman because it's so nice and calm, but sometimes you need that men mindset. Like, yo, if we go about it this way, we can get 10,000. We can start this franchise. Let's go. We can start our business. We can add whoever we want to add. We can put whatever we want to put inside the restaurant so we can be a better. It can help us invest in ourselves as a man. We can do that together, but the pride and ego got to be removed. What's the one thing about the mental that we need to get out of there. How the hell we get ego when we ain't never did nothing in the first place? How are we doing that? You ain't did nothing in your life, but you got pride. You can't rub two nickels together, but you got pride, man. If you don't let that man talk to you, that got a business right now. I don't care if he's a car mechanic. I don't care if you only seen him with one car. He got his own. You need to follow that. You need to get an idea of how to start your own from that one. He may got one. Next week he may got 5 cars. Next week he may got 15 cars. But you don't have nothing. Swallow your pride and allow that man to help you get your mind together. I promise you, because like I said, pressure bust pipes, and in your mind, you don't got pipes, but you got veins, and aneurysm comes because you ain't taking care of yourself. It's time for you to take care of yourself. It's that simple. You know what I mean? And that's like I said, mental health should be an everyday situation because this is not the only time we're gonna go through things. We're gonna go through trials and tribulations. But if you have the right brother in your corner, he's gonna support you. He's gonna hold you up. I'm not saying that a woman can't hold you up. I'm not saying that by any stretch of the imagination. What I'm saying is a man has the strength to pull you up. The woman she can hold you up, but a man can pull you up as well. Not saying that she's not strong enough, but as a man, it just seems more logical for another man to pull you up out of the situation, the woman to nurture you. We don't even, how many of us have male best friends? Who can we really turn to have a conversation like this? Do we even have that? A lot of times we're not. Why? Because we in our feelings, right? We need, instead of us looking for validation, instead of us looking for confirmation, we want to validate if we're doing the right thing. No, you know if you're doing the right thing, because if you're doing the right thing, the confirmation is right in front of you. It's not about your feelings. It's about your actions. Well, I feel like I shouldn't go to work. All right, well, don't go to work and don't get that money. You see what happens? You're gonna lose your home. You're gonna lose your car. You ain't gonna be able to buy you a meal. But that man is gonna listen, man. Yo, don't worry about it, man. Just work that week, and then like I said, that build your PTO up and go on a vacation. That way you can have time to yourself. You don't need time to yourself right now, but at the end of the day, you can do that. But that's what I'm saying. You got to be able to have the mindset to be able to hold that. You have to have that state of mind to be able to say, you know what, I could take this criticism from my guy because he's not going to steer me wrong. He's in it for me to be right instead of me not being right. He wants my situation to be right instead of me being right. If my situation is right and the end result is I'm doing the right thing, that's what matters. I think we as men need to be doing that. We don't need to destruct in order to build up. You already been destroyed already. The system has destroyed us. Why the hell are we destroying ourselves? It's time for us to build ourselves up. It's time to construct, but we need the foundation first. Don't bring the table until we start the foundation. That's my advice to everybody. That's my advice to the brothers. Don't bring a table unless we have the foundation to where that table could stand on all four of his legs, or how many legs the table got. And we can always extend the table because the foundation is going to be strong enough to hold all of us if we do this right. So that's pretty much what I had, to say about us coming together. I don't know if I just want the message to get out. If it works for you, it works. It ain't me being right; it's the message that's being right. Don't look at it anything but the message, right? If we can do that, like I said, we can all become better versions of ourselves. And when we become better, the people around us become better. Because at the end of the day, as I'm talking to you, as Rachel said, we are influencers, and I agree with that. But if we influence each other to do the right thing, we become better versions for somebody else that's listening to us. So that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to help the right things to get out there, the right message to get out there. It ain't always about quoting scriptures. It's not always about, me being right. It's about the message being right. If it helps somebody, then it's doing what it needs to do. Don't look at it as me saying it. Look at it as the message is being out there. If it's right, if it works for you, I'm not right. The message is right. But it's just time for us together as men to have these conversations, whether it's here, background, whatever. If you don't want to have it publicly because you're worried about people saying something about you, link up with your brother in the background. Hit their Instagram, hit their Facebooks, or whatever it is that they need, whatever they have that's available to them. They say try the spirit and see if the spirit is of right or wrong. Well, it's God actually, but I'm saying right or wrong because a lot of people don't have the discernment to know what's right or wrong. But try the spirit if it see if it works for you. If it works for you, that man works for you. If it dwells within that man, allow that man to have that conversation with you. Build with that young man. Build with that man to where you become a better version of yourself. And like I said, one could reach 1,000. You might be the one to reach 1,000. But if the message is right, we can put the table on the foundation. We can have the picnic to plan what we're going to put on this foundation. What type of house we're going to build on this foundation. We can sit there and draw it right on that very table that we use. And then we could, as Word would say, he will turn that table into a desk. So that way we can draw it up together, and then we can remove that, and then we can have lunch or dinner, and then we can go ahead and start the process of building on that foundation, whatever the house it is that we're trying to build together. But it's up to us, fellas. We gotta have that desire. We gotta have that frame of mind. We gotta have that mental health, that good mental health, to decide if we can do it together or not. I know we can. There's no doubt for me, but it's up to other people to believe it, and then when they apply it and see that it works, then they can know that their belief has grown into a knowing. But that's not for me to decide. That's for you guys. But whoever wants to decide it, I'm here. We can have a conversation. However we want to have a conversation, we can build this thing together. I'm not afraid to have the conversation. I'm not debating it. I'll tell you that right now. There's no need to debate it because if you debate and you're not listening to me, we're not going to listen to each other. You trying to prove that your point is right. I want it to be right to build the house on this foundation to show that we can come together as fellas, as a whole a group of people, a whole group of brothers. We can make it together. We can prove everybody else wrong. They think we can't work together. Let's prove. I want to prove them wrong because it's the right thing to do, not to show them up, but it's the right thing. We can get the proper product on that foundation, whether it's a high rise or a private group home or whatever it is that you want to build to make it to where we can come together, we can learn from one another. I'm asking if you want to do it, we are available. So shout out to everybody that's here, Miss T, Nate, Word. I saw you up there. Commander, I saw you. Uh, like I said, I just wanted to have that conversation to touch on that because I don't think it was addressed for the fellas to come together. I didn't hear it. If it was, it was on my heart to do it. So I just decided to do it today. Uh, uh, uh. But like I said, if y'all want to have that conversation, there's plenty of places to have it, right? Even if, like I said, we got a like over here, we got a sports channel with Mr. 33. That's me. But whatever, we can talk about sports and how, and we can get together as men and shoot the breeze and leave whatever disagreements we have right there. But we can build there as well. I know Word do it all the time because that's what we do on a daily basis. We just trying to show that it is possible for the brothers to come together, work together, build together. The question is, do you have the mental health to do that? Do you have the mental to talk about what we need to do to become better versions of men? Word might say that's a little boy or whatever. I'm saying we need to be better versions of men or man. We have to have the mentality to become versions of men. Like I said, the men and mental means the mind. Men, we need to have the mind to do this. The question is, are y'all willing to have that conversation? So, with that being said, I appreciate everybody coming through. Shout out to those that are listening. Those shout out to those that are going to catch the replay. Hopefully, I said something that resonates or it adds to you. So, with that being said, Buster Dan Brown signing out. I'm out.